場所にいるか。そこですね。流れ。
Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Fate Grand Order. We're continuing Meihousou Most Foul. How long until 12 minutes until the next section? Well, we'll probably unlock it right as soon as we play this one. Because we'll take a look here. Section 4. Let's continue with the filming here. Filming must continue. We will write it into the plot. Uh-oh. I just realized it was the writer who died. That's really bad. That's the worst it can be, actually. Well, shoot. Oh no. Murasaki Shikibu just collapsed. Murasaki, are you alright? It's okay, Senpai. Please keep recording. I'm sure we can handle this. For the time being, we should bring her somewhere with proper bed to rest. I think there was a room over that way, right? Indeed. It is a small room, but we certainly cannot leave a beautiful sage like her lying on the floor. Wow. First Da Vinci. Now Murasaki? Bro, you have a type. You certainly have a type. And the type is va-va-voom, am I right? So how is she? I know she's probably not dead since she hasn't disappeared, but that's all I can tell. Well, she's still breathing, but I have no idea when she might wake up. You're the one who prepared our drinks? I was not. Well, I did serve the drinks. I didn't have time to add anything to them, even had I wished. I didn't see anything funny when I was recording either. Wait, assuming I'm remembering correctly, I think I saw her taking what looked like some sort of medicine before she entered the ballroom. Salieri? Don't you dare look at me. What do you want me to perform? Who demands it? What else are you trying to pin on me? Uh-oh. Aye. Any moment now. Glancing. Shut up. Aye. Oh. Oh, he even bites his lip? I am the actor playing Antonio. Nothing more, nothing less. Are you a big method actor? Glad that's over with. Anyway, this is all really... Oh, wow. He's full method actor. Holy crap. I like his lip bite, though. It's a good frame. Anyway, this is all really weird. Murasaki Shikibu's the writer and director of the picture, right? I can't see why she'd want to poison herself. I don't know what she took or why, but if nothing else, I think this absolves Salazar. Archer? Huh? What's up? Why are you wasting our time? You could settle matters right this moment with your clairvoyance. Oh, that, would you believe that I'm having a hard time using it in this singularity? Very well. If that is what you claim, I will take you at your word. Hey, Salazar? Given your choice of words earlier, I take it you aren't the one who prepared the drinks, then? No, I wasn't. All the glasses had already been filled by the time I picked up the tray. Then who did prepare the drinks? Whoever it was, if you're innocent, now is the time to speak up. Oh. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, it's even tiny. I did. The faces. Well, just a moment there. Why are you all looking at each other as if to say, glad that's settled, now we can go home. I'll have you know I was simply doing my job as this movie's production assistant. I even brought this grape juice straight from Kalia so it could be used for the very scene you were filming. Oh, it's not wine, it was grape juice. Sure you did. How about you all save us a lot of headache and just confess, old man? And that is quite enough with the baseless accusations. I've already solved this particular mystery. Holmes, isn't that kind of fast even for you? Simply put, there's no responsible party in this case. It is merely an unfortunate accident. My witness here can testify to that. What's up, dude? I just happened to be paying him a visit. To have him help me with a few, on second thought, never mind what I was doing. My man Holmes up on his crazy drug trips as usual. All that matters right now is that he knows the truth of what took place there. First, I have a question for all of you. Have any of you seen some wrapping paper with the words Hohenheim Safe Cutting Edge Forward Thinking? Perhaps in a trash can somewhere? There's a trash can over there. Let me take a look. Yes, there is. It says right there. Hohenheim Safe Cutting Edge Forward Thinking. And it's just as I suspected. That's the medicine I prescribed for her. As you know, it puts the patient into a state of deep sleep until they completely recover from their fatigue. Well, that stuff put us in a bind last time, too. Did it? I don't remember when that was. She asked me to prescribe something that would help her with her exhaustion. So I gave her 2 doses of that medicine.
See? What did I tell you? I'm an innocent man. Innocent! Let me say it one more time, innocent!
Yeah, lottie freaking duh. Enjoy while it lasts, geezer. Probably won't happen again. It seems Miss Murasaki had been up the entire previous night when she agreed to take on this project. Given that she must have already been exhausted from the lack of sleep before she even began the challenging work of writing the script and putting the production together, well, it is no great surprise that she thought to ask Paracelsus, I always get his name wrong, for help deal with the fatigue. No shit, Sherlock. Wow! Wow! Congratulations, you are one of the few human beings to actually say that to Sherlock. Staying up for days on end seriously messes with your decision-making. I did wonder why she wanted the medicine, but I decided it wasn't my place to pry. Perhaps it would have been better had I done so in this case. My apologies, Master. Having reached her limit, Miss Murasaki decided to resort to Paracelsus's medicine, and collapsed shortly thereafter. As should be abundantly clear by now, this was simply a set of completely understandable circumstances culminating in an unfortunate accident. Naturally, I looked into this professor there, but alas, he is indeed innocent. He may be a reprobate among reprobates, but in this particular case, his conduct has not been questionable.
What do you mean, alas? At any rate, good show proving my innocence beyond a shadow of a doubt, Holmes, old chap. I can't actually say I'm grateful to you, but thanks just the same, radiating insincerity, rather. You're quite welcome, equally insincere. For my part, I would much rather not reduce Kalia's fighting forces unless it was strictly necessary, so I'm thrilled to be able to resolve this peacefully. Guess that means you're innocent too, then. My bad. Oh, I can't blame you for that. I'm just glad this misunderstanding has been cleared up. What about my apology?
Piss off, creep.
Oh, you wound me.
I'm glad that's cleared up, but now what are we gonna do? I don't see how we could keep shooting a movie without its writer and director. Wait, I've got it. We've still got options. After all, Kalia's also got not just 1, but 2 other extraordinary writers among our ranks. Uh-oh.
Absolutely not. Nary a line shall I write.
But I didn't even ask you yet. Why are you both turning this down? It's not like this is a physically intensive job, and you both should be able to make full use of your talents.
Lady Murasaki's the one who crafted this story. I've never been shy about offering my opinions on others' lives, but I have not a word to say on the subject of others' stories. Besides, I have no idea of her intentions regarding the story's direction or conclusion. I wouldn't dare to try to take it over myself with so many unknowns.
Really? I would have figured the great William Shakespeare would... I wouldn't have figured the great William Shakespeare would be afraid of a little unfinished story.
It's not a matter of courage, you buffoon. He just has the sense to know his goddamn place. Yes, there are only so many ways to structure a story and develop a plot. An author of Shakespeare's caliber could easily write a continuation to the story on the spot if he so desired. But there's more to stories than just their structure and plot. They must also have themes. The theme shapes everything about a story. It's the soul of the work, the core idea that answers the question of why the author wrote it. And every writer worth their ink and pen knows trying to continue a story when you don't know the theme can only result in a mess. There's an expression from the Far East that sums it up well. One can make an image of the Buddha, but one cannot make his spirit. Do you really want Shakespeare to waste his time writing soulless drivel like that? I've certainly written my share of soulless drivel purely for entertainment, but this hardly seems like a good moment to mention that.
It's true.
Indeed. It would be one thing if Lady Murasaki were supervising my efforts, but given her current incapacitation, my hands are firmly tied. Even if she did have notes or an unfinished script to peruse, there is every possibility that the whole affair may change dramatically by the final revision. There, you see, we're shit out of luck. The only thing we can do now is wait for Sleeping Beauty there to wake up. I swear, this is the whole problem with popular writers. They don't even know how to take care of themselves.
I see. Well, I guess it would make sense that a famous author would be a little reluctant to take over another famous author's work. But man, now what are we gonna do? I guess we'll just have to give up on the Singularity's magical energy.
Maybe, maybe not. In spite of everything we just said, I do get the sense the story is well on its way. Between the background exposition, character introductions, and this latest shocking event, I'd say all the pieces are in place for an interesting story indeed.
But you're still not gonna write the rest, are you?
Indeed not. We have no wish to incur the noble lady's ire after all. However, if the cast were to take over their characters themselves, I suspect she would be willing to accept that. What do you say, everyone? Would you be willing to continue playing your parts and see where the story goes from here?
Uh-huh.
I hadn't considered that approach. Instead of outsiders like us taking over, we of the cast continue on in the spirit they inherited from the director. Yes, I doubt Murasaki would have anything to cry about in that case. Brilliant, William, truly cunning. We've got a mansion with a lot of history, a beautiful widow who inherited a fortune, and a bizarre assortment of guests. It's a damn near perfect setting for a mystery. Off the top of my head, you could call it something like, Meihousou Most Foul. In other words, you're the lead actors now!
Hey, dipsticks, how about a little reality check, eh? We aren't actually actors, you morons.
How about you, Professor? Perhaps you could make yourself useful for a change. The problem is, I would never come up with such a slapdash scheme. I prefer my schemes to have wrapped up nicely before anyone knows something is amiss. While the idea of writing a mystery based on one of Sir Moriarty's criminal plots does sound appealing, I'm afraid I'll need to give it a pass this time. When writing a mystery, you begin with the end and work backwards. Every character introduction must have a purpose, and everything should be wrapped up neatly by the end. Conversely, such stories tend to not be particularly dynamic. Right, if everything fits together too neatly, the story starts to feel robotic. Ideally, you want the characters to ignore the writer's carefully laid plot entirely and start going about on their own affairs. Don't worry, as long as you all commit yourselves to your parts, the rest of the story will basically write itself. I guarantee it'll be an absolute train wreck, but at least you'll get it done.
I think even that might be giving us too much credit. Like Jean said, none of us have ever acted before.
Do you guys have a mirror there?
Oh, wrong voice. I combined them. Oh, scary.
Yes? Then spend an hour or so and take a good long look at yourselves. Listen to me. Every last one of you is already a character. You're all famous enough to be engraved onto history itself. You're inherently interesting just by your very existence. And as long as you all seriously commit to your parts, the end result can't help but be a compelling drama. Indeed, yes. If nothing else, it will be compelling. And even if it wasn't, well, that's alright too. Everyone should experience abject failure at least once or twice.
Been there, done that. Thanks for reminding me, prick. It's funny because, like, abject failure for her is burning at the stake. Unless they're talking about the summer event and her dojins there failing over and over. Maybe. So long story short, we're going to keep filming, right? Well, I did say at worst we could always make a documentary, and it's definitely not like we expected everything to go smoothly. I'll have to ask MASH to focus on looking after Murasaki Shikibu, but as for the rest of you, Jean, Rema, Salazar, Tristan, Ozymandias, Arash, Man in Grey, and of course, Tanner. I'm counting on all you to keep an eye on the general, the camera rolling, and to do your best to make this as good a movie as possible. We'll try. We shall try. Anyways, boom bam. That was 13 minutes. It is 10:01. Holy crap, that timing. I swear to God, if it's like, oh, by the way, that didn't count, you're going to have to click skip again. I'm going to cry. Please don't. Bro. Bro, don't do this to me, bro. Bro. Bro, please. Please. Wow. That's a lot. There we go. Well, don't mind if I do take in some more quartz. For sure, for sure. Oh, I hate it when it does that, because we did it! Now I'm gonna have to click skip and waste precious time. You know, I played a couple, gotcha games, and boy, can you imagine if they put skip tickets in this game? That would make it so much easier. Oh my god, Improv Theater. Yes, let's go. Oh my god, okay, this'll be good. I really want it to be... I really want it to be like them doing improv of the most improv variety. There you are. Will you be able to get the wine stain out? I think so, but I couldn't give less of a shit about that right now. How's Gabriella doing? Are they... Wow, you're filming her comatose body. That's dubiously consensual. I don't know about that. That's a bit strange. I'm gonna be real, but okay. She's still alive, though she's hanging on by a thread, and there's no telling what could happen next. I expect it's gonna be some time before she can tell us what happened. So we've got no choice but to be patient until we can find out who did this, huh? I'm not so sure. Even if Gabriella were to regain consciousness now, I doubt even she could tell us who poisoned her glass. Where'd that come from? So they're trying to play detective or something? As a matter of fact, I don't play anything. My traveling musician act was actually a facade. His true identity is Isidoro Poggioli. Isidoro Poggioli, the great detective. And I'm his assistant detective, Adriana Molinari. Would you mind not stepping on my lines, Adriana? Oh, I'm sorry. Great detective is Isidoro Poggioli. I can't get over the pog. I can't, I'm sorry. Never heard of you. Of course not. Most of my cases come directly from high-ranking government officials, so I can't imagine common man would know my name. So you're in the line of work that requires no self-promotion, are you? Wouldn't that be nice, Elise? I wouldn't. Don't know if I'd buy it. Maybe the higher-ups just use it to bury facts they don't like. Those who know me sometimes call me the closer. I can understand your trepidation, but I hope you will trust us. A detective, huh? Usually in my experience, having a detective around is nothing but bad news, but I guess it's a good thing you're here in this case. And I suppose your client this time must be the old man himself? Right you are. Our first president, Miguel Angel Cortez, hired me to be here. He said he wanted me to investigate if anything happened after he was gone. I was hoping there'd be no need for my services, but alas, it seems luck was not on our side. Sometimes I curse the way cases seem to follow wherever I go. It always kind of scared me how thorough the old man was about this sort of thing. It's almost like he knew exactly what would happen after he was gone. Mr. Poggioli has an amazing talent for attracting cases wherever he goes. He's also known as Isidoro. That's, for some reason, Isidoro keeps screwing me up, and I don't know why, but Isidoro the Reaper. Obviously proud. Well, yeah, that's not ominous at all. You there, Salazar, or whatever your name was. Are you sure Miguel never told you anything about this? Not a word, but maybe Lord Miguel never really trusted me after all. Cheer up, Salazar, it's much too early to say that. Thank you, milady, your kind words are certainly soothing to hear under these circumstances. You're welcome. Anyway, getting back to the question at hand, why would anyone want to harm Gabriella? Seriously, you actually have to ask? Huh? Cortez's legacy? What are you, an idiot? He collected some really amazing shit back when he was a general. Apparently would have easily kept him in power if he hadn't had to retire. At least that's the rumor I overheard at a dinner with some high-ranking government officials. So if Gabriella inherited something that great, it's no wonder someone else wanted her out of the picture, right? But that's still only a rumor, right? What, you don't believe me? Cortez's legacy is no rumor. Trust me, I used to work under him. I was a medical officer, so I had access to lots of different places. As a result, I was made to gather evidence of wrongdoing on all sorts of people. And of course, the evidence I gathered was only a tiny fraction of the whole. All told, I bet there were dozens of government officials who had collars slapped on them like that. And it's not just skeevy blackmail material either. I bet anything the legacy also includes priceless letters and works of art from the former kingdom. And I'd also bet it's all here, somewhere, in this enormous mansion. Damn, that's quite a story. So if anyone managed to take the legacy for himself, they'd be Nadai Nadha's next ruler, huh?
So that is why Gabriella was poisoned. Still, even if the culprit did succeed at eliminating her, that does not mean they would automatically inherit this legacy, right?
They might not have to. Some people, say high-ranked government officials, would be happy just to have it conveniently disappear. I'd guess their next move will either be to try and kill Gabriella again, or to just kill all of us.
But what if they merely wanted to bury this legacy? It would be much more expedient to set it all ablaze, especially after we all went to bed.
Of course, I doubt that'll work now that they've got us all on guard, even if they don't plan on doing anything too drastic just yet. Yeah, well, that's not going to be a big help if their next move is just to poison all our food. Not considering how Gabriella just collapsed right after she drank the wine the guy brought her.
Stop it, Elise.
No, it's all right. Lady Elise has every reason to be suspicious. Very well, how about this? After I've prepared your meals, I will taste them before serving, just to make sure they are safe.
Yeah, but how do we know this guy doesn't have an immunity to poison?
So you want to be our food taster? There are any number of ways you could fake that if you wanted to.
Sorry about Vargas. He's suspicious about pretty much everything. Of course, that helps us a lot when we're out on the hunt. Anyway, if you don't mind, we'd appreciate it if you could just share some non-perishables with us.
Of course, if you cannot, we will simply go out and hunt our own food.
Couldn't the non-perishables be poison as well? I can check for poison too. All I gotta do is brush it against my lips with the tip of my tongue. Smell can tell you a lot about something too. Actually, something already smells fishy. There's no way the scent can be natural. It's coming from over here. Oh, what's over here?
Hey, Garcia.
We should follow them.
Good filter. Good film filter. I like it.
There.
Okay. It's actually a nice, surprising bit of art. Huh? This portrait, it smells like wet paint. I see your nose is as sharp as your tongue, Garcia. I can smell it too now I'm this close. How long has this portrait been here, Salazar?
I believe it was completed when Lord Miguel was still with us.
Does anything seem different about it to you?
I'm afraid I can't tell what might have been changed. I'm sorry I didn't study it closer when I had the chance.
A true artist puts their heart and soul into the smallest details of their work, including those most people will never see or appreciate. It's perfectly understandable that you wouldn't be able to notice them at a glance. The important thing is to take away from this is that someone altered this painting extremely recently. Though I suppose it's possible the artist simply decided they didn't like how some part of it came out and decided to fix it. They certainly wouldn't be the first to go back and alter their past work.
Damn, it's all connected. Paints like cadmium yellow and vermilion contain harmful heavy metals. And while I can't be certain, Gabriella's symptoms definitely strike me as similar to heavy metal poisoning. I doubt the paint was added directly to her drink, but the culprit could have extracted the heavy metals from it.
So you're saying that whoever altered the painting would have access to paint, and that they used it to create the poison?
Basically.
It's a bit of a stretch, but the logic does hold. Very well, just to be certain, let me ask you all this. Do any of you currently have any paint?
Looks like nobody's volunteering to come forward, Mr. Pogiolio. I want to say Pogiolio, just because I want to say Pog. Does that mean...
Yes, this is definitely one of those cases.
I'll quit the damn theatrics and just spit it out.
Very well then, if I may be so bold. One of you is the cowardly culprit behind this Meihousou mystery. The portrait painter.
I wonder who it could be.
Oh, there's more. Good. I was gonna say. I was actually wondering. And also, before we do that, I'm actually gonna check. Is it rider time? Is it time to ride or die? Let's see. I have heard some people were getting lucky with... Oh, it is. Perfect. All right. Rider time. I want my boy, but we'll see who we get. Also, I guess rider resistance, too. We'll see here. Heard some people were getting real lucky with, getting Jeanne d'Arc on a ticket. Yeah, that's about what I expected. I still don't know who that dude is. Alright, here we go, here we go. Clickarooski. Hey, well, there's him. Alright, that looks like a servant. Nope. Knight's Dignity. That's another one of those. Divine Banquet. Come on. Gimme some servants. Well, we got you. Okay, sir. You are not to be trusted. He was pretty good. He was pretty good, so we'll definitely see about getting him leveled up there. And he's only 3 stars, which, again, people have been like, no, don't worry. Stars don't matter. Stars don't matter. And you know what, actually? Just for the heck of it, I got paid recently. Let's go. Alright, I just want my 1 red hair, and then that's pretty much it. But we'll see, because we also maybe see what else you might get. So let's do a Clickarooski. Come on, red hair. Come on, red hair. Come on, any servants, really? Please. Oh. Oh, you hate it when it happens. Coises. Alright, Clickarooski. Alright, so we got Iron Will Training. That's a servant. That's gonna be your boy. Yes, it is. Welcome to the team, good sir. You are a horse. Oh, that looks like another servant. Nope, never mind. God, divine banquets everywhere. Hello, please whinny for me. You sound way handsomer than I expected. Wow, look at how many of you we got, though. Holy crap. Okay, shall we? Yeah, let's give it a try here. Let's see what we can get. Let's play the magical mystery game. Let's see here. Got a projection. And got an imaginary around. Hey, nice. Is that our first one for that? No. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh. My rolls have been real bad recently. Let me tell you. Anyways, let's check the Noble Phantasms here, because we got a bunch of you. So let's go. First off, let's lock one of you. I think the rest of you I can pretty much sell for the, Oh. That one's locked too. Okay, that's fine. But I could pretty much sell the rest of, them for the, stuff there. Because I do need more. So let's see here. So I think everyone else is, you know, I just take a look. I see no locks. So we're good. So let's go to... I do see something new in the shop too. What's new here? Oh, this. Yeah, I can't afford that yet. I have a little bit of time to get that, so I'm working towards it. That'll give me 48 of them. Do I want to do that, or do I want to use that for experience? Nah, the prisms are more worth it, honestly. They're more worth it. Plus, every month I need a bunch for the summon tickets too. So, all right. Well, we got our boy. We got our red hair boy. So that's the important thing. Where is he? He'll be at the bottom with the level.
Yeah, there he is. My good boy.
Please, my boy, eat up. Oh, and you'll be easy to level too, which is nice. He sounds so much more like, in my head, he was like, I'm a horseman, which is just not what he's like. They gave him a regular dude's voice. Oh, look at that flowing hair.
I don't want to unify with a horse. Ever. Please.
Don't even make me consider that, sir. Don't. Okay, well. Let's go and continue with cinema builders. What are we building? Cinema? I guess that makes sense. Great job, everyone. That was amazing, especially considering that none of you has ever acted before. Especially you, Tristan. That last line of yours had my heart absolutely pounding. Any knight of the round could have done the same. Let's just say the performances of that nature are nothing unusual for us. Now, don't flatter him, Mash. Little strummer boy here was just shouting the first thing popped into that bird brain of his. How are you thinking, saying one of us is the culprit? Now what we're gonna do if a new character shows up? Alas, she speaks the truth, which makes me sad. I did indeed merely shout the first thing that came to my mind. Well, that was so unhelpful it almost circled back to being helpful. Yes, by all means, continue to praise me. That wasn't praise, dumbass. At least we managed to tie everything together. Sorry about that, I just sort of followed my gut without realizing where it was taking me.
Not at all, this has given us a clear path to the story's conclusion. All we need to do now is find this portrait painter and bring them to justice. I'm afraid there's still something lacking. We need to turn up the heat, so to speak.
What do you mean?
The mystery has indeed been unveiled, and I agree that the story's plot now has a clear direction. But the audience still doesn't know who your characters truly are. Did Lady Murasaki not go over the backgrounds with you?
I don't think so.
Seriously? I've heard of playing it close to the chest, but this is ridiculous. It's a shame she didn't make a chart or something with all the characters' histories. You don't have an audience surrogate either. There hasn't been any monologues reinforcing any of the characters' inner motivations. If you keep this up, you may as well just be a bunch of marionettes going whichever way the current scene's strings pull you.
You don't mince words, do you?
Which is why, for the next scene, we would like you to invent some reason why your characters have to go off on their own.
Oh, I know, maybe something like, I'm not gonna stand around here waiting for the killer to stab me in the back, I'm going to my room. Would that work?
Wow, you're really enjoying this, aren't you, Mash?
Oh, she is. That would certainly be one natural reaction, but regrettably, it would also leave little room for further developments. An extreme fear can neither fight nor fly, but coward-like with trembling terror die.
Are you just quoting yourself?
From what I've seen of your performances thus far, none of you are playing characters sufficiently cowardly to take that role. For example, what do you think your character would do next, Sir Salieri?
Who cares?
What's going on? What am I doing here? Mozart!
Ahem, side glance.
Oh!
Oh. He literally does the dat ass face when she walks up, the character conspicuously not wearing pants.
Right, I don't think I have a very firm grasp on Antonio's character, but I think if I were innocent, I would try to foil the culprit's plot in order to further my own goals. And if I were the culprit, I'm certain I would only pretend to cooperate with everyone else while I plotted my next move. Especially since I still haven't accomplished my goal of murdering Gabriella. Either way, simply hiding in my room would not be an option.
What a coincidence, Uncle. I was thinking the same thing.
Please don't ever call me that again when we aren't filming. I beg to differ. On the stage or set in this case, there is nothing wrong with staying in the headspace of one's character.
Now I see. Even if we don't know who the culprit is, the most natural thing would be to try and suss one another out without arousing suspicion.
Exactly! That sort of push and pull is what gives a good ensemble story its chemistry. This is what people usually mean when they say good characters write themselves. Though, of course, if you don't write yourselves here, there will be no story at all, really.
Unfortunately, given my amnesia, I don't know if I'm capable of coming up with something clever to say.
What if the topic were Lady Mash?
Oh yes, I could gush about her eyes and hair for days on end, and still not run out of things to say.
Eyes, hair, that sounds familiar. Yeah. I feel like I heard some really stupid conversation about that once. I have no idea what they're referencing.
At any rate, I encourage you all to continue getting into your characters' heads, for that is the only way we have left to us with which we can properly repair the singularity.
Why is Holmes, why did you ellipses? You can't ellipses out of nowhere.
There's one thing I still do not understand. Why are you and I pretending to be lowly hunters?
Good question. If you're the kingdom's former prince and I'm your attendant, what if it were because we're both wanted criminals with bounties on our heads? Well, that way we'd have to hunt just to survive while we're on the run.
Me, a fugitive. What an amusing idea.
You might be getting a little too royal. Okay, then, what if as the former prince you were secretly going around trying to make your country a better place? They say land outlasts kingdoms, right? Your old nation may be gone, but its people are still living their lives. You could be here trying to ensure their welfare, and I could be your partner. What do you think of that? Huh? I hope I didn't have...
Not bad. Traveling my land to make it a better place is a much more amusing idea than being a fugitive. Very well then, let the filming recommence. Come, Garcia.
You got it.
Damn, another dead end. I was hoping she'd at least have left a note or two lying around. Then again, that was probably too much to hope for, seeing as she didn't even have time to write a script. Apparently, she barely had 3 hours to put something together after Roman asked her to help. Even for a rushed production, that's just absurd. I thought I might find you here. Sherlock Holmes? You sure work hard for a guy who didn't so much set foot in the London singularity.
Oh, this is all quite elementary to me, dear Mr. Anderson. Knowing how much you respect Miss Murasaki's views, it was hardly a leap to imagine you would try to find a clue as to what they might have been.
Well, right you are, Mr. Detective. Unfortunately, I've had no luck with that so far. Maybe it doesn't matter anymore, now that the actors had taken things into their own hands. But I still wanted at least a hint, at least find a hint as to the ending she had in mind.
I see. In other words, you don't want me to see Miss Murasaki's first movie go down in flames, as it were.
We're trying to secure more resources for Caldia here, remember? This isn't all fun and games.
Yes, of course, but I suspect you still have a hypothesis you have yet to divulge, Mr. Anderson. Earlier, you suggested the story might well conclude in a train wreck of sorts. It sounds to me as though you already had an idea of where it's going. Uh-oh. If you don't mind sharing, I would like to ask you for your opinion as a writer, regarding what sort of story you think Miss Murasaki was trying to tell.
Damn, I guess I did say that, didn't I? Well, what I meant was it was with a cast like that, someone's bound to end up dead by the end. Whether that will be a comical or tragic death is still sort of up in the air. Alright, if you want to know what I think, I'll tell you. Just keep in mind that this is strictly my personal opinion. Writers are always juggling about 10 or 20 ideas in their minds, even if they don't always get around to writing all or even most of them. Well, 10 or 20 might be giving some writers too much credit, but in Murasaki's case, I'm pretty sure she had more than her fair share.
I see. And you think she used one of those ideas for this movie's script?
Given how urgent and unexpected the request was, it would only make sense she'd use an idea that had already been kicking around.
That makes a lot of sense.
But there are also lots of constraints, a limited pool of actors, her lack of experience with writing screenplays, and very little time to film. I guess half of her premise is something she already had floating around in her mind, and the other half is stuff she had to come up with to make it work. Though I do get the impression that she used up all her energy on the setting and cast. At any rate, I think she knew how she wanted this story to end, but she hadn't yet figured out how to get there. It seems you already have a solid grasp on what she had in mind. I have my theories, but they're all just speculation. That's why I was hoping I could at least find some sort of hint. And I suggest we try a different approach. Oh. Does that mean you have an idea of your own to where we could find a clue? As a matter of fact, I've been thinking about that portrait. That? I thought it was just a portrait of Moriarty and Murasaki that was altered. Remember how Garcia said he smelled wet paint from it during the last recording? That struck me as the most unusual thing to say, even for an improvised line. Wet paint. That's it! It was Hokusai! Precisely. Miss Murasaki must have asked Miss Hokusai to paint that portrait for use as a prop. Ah, okay. True, an artist as good as Hokusai would probably be able to throw a painting like that together faster than most people could open an image editor. God, have you tried to open up Photoshop? It takes so long! But I guess there wasn't enough time for the paint to dry before they had to start filming. Wait, you're not suggesting we send Hokusai over to be this portrait painter, are you? No, I merely want to talk to her, though of course, she may not be in a more conversant state than Miss Murasaki here, given the hours she keeps. I've got a bad feeling about this. Alright, let's go to that filthy room she calls an atelier. Are we gonna get to see her room? Oh, it's a nice little room. Man, Toto-sama, I never thought I'd get so much praise just for painting a picture of a pretty lady and a handsome guy. And this Kali is pretty nice. There's a lot more to oil painting than I realized. Maybe I'll try painting... Oh, I forgot she had the accent. I'll try painting another one like that while I'm at it. Ah, crap, I can't. Just standing in front of the canvas is making me dizzy. Maybe I've been working myself a little too hard lately. Say, that's the medicine Oh, no! Murasaki left here. I think she said it'd relieve your exhaustion in a jiffy. Sounds just like what the doctor ordered. We're too late. Huh? What are you two doing here? Don't tell me you guys want a portrait making you out to be a parent and child, too. I get what they're saying, but that's hilarious. That's really funny. The only sort of picture I'd ever ask you to paint would be a cover illustration for one of my children's stories. Alright, we don't have time for that crap right now. Hurry it up, Holmes! I assure you, I have every intention of doing so. If you don't mind, Miss Hokusai, there's something I wish to ask you about the portrait you painted recently. Oh, that? Well, it came out looking awful good, didn't it? Getting to feast my eyes on a handsome guy and beautiful lady like that is one of the very best parts of my work. Oh yes, your skill was never in question. It's clear for all to see that your work is eminently professional. However, I was curious if Miss Murasaki made any unusual requests of you when she commissioned the piece. For example, were there any parts she asked you to redo? Did she ask you to draw a picture of her buying Wonder Bread from a supermarket, perhaps? I'm just wondering. Some she asked me to redo? Now that you mention it, she did say that my first draft made him look too much like a couple. So I had to fix that aspect up a lit. Oh, man, I'm getting real sleepy all of a sudden. Oh, me, ma's going to sleep. Don't fall asleep yet, we're still talking to you. Damn it, guess that's all we're gonna get out of her. Well, there's nothing we can do about that now. Besides, we did learn a few interesting tidbits. You're really enjoying this, aren't you, Holmes? Is that how it seems to you? I suppose this particular case does make for a nice change of pace. After all, once I become involved in a case, it is only a matter of time until it is solved, however inscrutable it may appear at first blush. So the fact that you're working on a case that really isn't a case at this point only makes it that much more interesting for you, huh? I guess even detectives have their specialties, but whatever. Let's get back to the command room, Holmes. I'm worried about how things are going on set. There's no way Tanner will be able to handle everything on his own. Not with a cast of actors whose heads are so far up their asses they haven't seen daylight in years. Holy crap. Okay, so this is just really reinforcing how much I love how every servant has a relationship to another servant. It's so good. Like, every servant is like you just think to yourself, like, what would this servant say to another servant? What would their relationship be? Well, all the authors are kind of, you know, they have kind of respect for each other, but they also see themselves as rivals, you know. Jean is really Jean Alter, of course, in this case, is uppity with pretty much everyone, except for the master, right? But, you know, she's kind of nicer to others, you know, I'm loving this.
I'm loving. That's one thing I gotta say about Grand Order is just the relationships between all the servants are great. It's really good. Anyways, I'm amazed that there's more. The Melancholy Assassin. Are we gonna do the Hare Hare Yukai? God, I totally did the Hare Hare Yukai IRL multiple times when that was a thing. If you don't know what that is, then I'm not gonna tell you because I've been telling way too many embarrassing stories as I've been doing these videos. What is this place? It smells all mildewy. It looks like an archive. This must be part of Cortez's legacy. Ah, what do you mean? As much as those pretending to sainthood in the current government might like to think otherwise, there were a lot of people looting everything they could get their hands on in the chaos 10 years ago. And the worst of all was Cortez, right? I mean, he basically looted the whole country. Very true, but while the others were all focused on their immediate gratification, Cortez was methodically, words are hard, collecting evidence of their crimes used in the future. That doesn't say he collected everything, of course, but he didn't need to as long as he could make the government officials believe he had all kinds of dirt on those in high society. Isn't that right, Roma? I'd rather not get into all the lurid details here, but yeah, you're essentially correct. I doubt he could become the first president, or have his new government's cabinets picked be approved as smoothly as they were, without some rather shady dealings behind the scenes. But Cortez trusted you, right? Why didn't you stay in the new government and enjoy all the perks? I know all too well how Cortez operated. If I'd stayed, it would only be a matter of time before I became trapped in his web. Besides, he never let his guard down around everyone, so I could never tell what he was really thinking. People like that scare me. I just realized there's no Oreo. Is she just not here, or is she gonna be holding up cue cards or something? Because I thought they were pretty much, you know, you can't get rid of one or the other. But no, she's not here. I wonder. Huh. Saying I resigned paints it in a nice light, but really, all I did was run away from him. Maybe there's something in this room that can tell us what's going on here. And when I say us, I mean you, because I'm sure as hell not going to read all this crap. I doubt there's anything valuable in this room, seeing as how it wasn't even locked. Doesn't look like there's any secret doors or anything either. Boring. I believe you said your name was Elise, yes? If you don't mind asking, do you happen to have an older brother? Yeah, I mind. Why the hell would you need to know about my family? I'm sorry, just forget I said anything. It's an old habit of mine asking young women that question. Elise is an only child to my understanding. What's more, she's been performing since before her 10th birthday. Uncle, you really don't have to tell him that. While we're on the topic, Elise and I are not technically uncle and niece. We are far more distantly related. When I stopped being the court musician 10 years ago, I knew I would have to fend for myself from then on. So I sought a singing voice like Elise's, and she in turn sought music like mine. It is that partnership of ours that helped us to get where we are today. Why don't you tell him our entire life story while you're at it? You know this guy could very well be our killer. Well, attempted killer. In that case, I think it's only right I tell you a little more about myself. Truth is, I've been trying to track down the kingdom of Nadai Nadha's legendary assassin, a man named Daizo Oka. I remember him. He was feared far and wide, despite being nothing more than a lone soldier. I can still feel the chills that ran down my spine whenever I passed him. The sheer bloodlust he radiated was palpable. He's that strong, he's probably doing fine for himself. I doubt it. He never struck me as cut out for normal life. Besides, I can't imagine a man who could cut down other people for money would have an easy time going back to life in normal society. Unfortunately, I've heard nothing about him these past 10 years. I clicked accidentally, and I have no doubt people would be talking about him if he had done anything noteworthy. People love talking about stuff like that, there's no stopping it. That's exactly why it's so strange. I can't imagine an assassin of that caliber being taken down easily, especially when he had a younger sister protect. Oh. And we have another mystery on our hands. Where did the fiercest assassin ever to live disappear to? In that line of work, you know he'd be the first person to cut loose the moment it became inconvenient to keep him around. If his bosses decided they didn't want him around anymore, he'd be gone no matter how good he was. Huh? Is this?
Find something? This might just be what I've been looking for. I'll study it more and see what I can find out. Come on, let's head back. And I like how he doesn't say what it is to leave it ambiguous.
Tanner, I had a brilliant idea.
Really? What is it?
What if we made Salazar here and this Daiso person one and the same?
Ah, Daiso's face was covered up, so maybe...
Fortunately, we never saw Daiso's face during the prologue. We can make use of that here.
Daiso was the assassin who worked for General Tang, right?
He would never admit defeat, no matter how much things turned against him. What would you do if you were him?
Well, I don't think I'm exactly the sort of person who would cut down his foes as easily as breathing, but...
Wrong. You are already Daiso. From now on, you will think as he thinks and speak as he speaks.
Spoken like a true pharaoh. Well, I think I might try to kill as many enemies as possible, even if I knew it was ultimately pointless. But there's only so much any one person can do, so I probably suffered a grave injury. And though I managed to survive the attack, I ended up losing my memory. How does that sound?
Very good. Your memories may be gone, but your body still remembers its deadly fighting techniques. Thus, Miguel kept you around to turn you into his personal bodyguard.
So I used to be an assassin. Yes, I'm starting to believe it. That's right. I was the kingdom of Nadha's greatest assassin. Of course, I would try to assassinate anyone who even vaguely seems like an enemy of the royal family. So I poisoned the wine glass because... I guess I just wanted to kill someone? Are you an assassin? I'm not sure. I don't think I can use presence concealment. At any rate, as an assassin, I'm sworn to serve the kingdom to my dying breath. But my efforts backfired, and I almost inadvertently killed my master.
Perfect.
Now I have painful intermittent flashbacks of my failed assassination attempt. So I impulsively think about performing new assassinations in order to escape that pain.
Sounds like that ought to work. I feel like everything's starting to come together. Seems kind of contrived to me, but whatever, I can live at this point. But if we go this route, then you'll be playing a pretty bad guy. Are you okay with that?
I think that even with my memory gone, the battle against the revolutionaries still rages inside me. So now, whenever something happens to stir up my past impulses, I can't help but want to kill anyone I consider a threat to the kingdom.
Oh, that way we can have Gabrielle's poisoning be one of your attempts to kill someone.
I see. Then as the last prince of Nadai Nadha, I will take it upon myself to put my poor, faithful retainer to rest. After a pulse-pounding fight scene, Vargas will defeat Salazar and praise him for his faithful service as he passes away in his arms. Then, after Gabrielle awakes, Vargas will confide his true identity to her and set back on his trip to help make his former nation a better place. It all makes sense. This will work nicely. Then it would seem we finally have the outline of our plot. Very well, let us proceed with this story, unless there are any other cast members who wish to object.
I think it sounds very good. Whatever. Don't love it, but don't have anything better to offer. I guess that means our scene will be the last one, then. I don't know if I like the idea of me and the Pharaoh ganging up on Salazar.
Yes, a good point. Well then, perhaps you could think of a way around that.
What if Garcia stayed behind to protect Gabriela while Vargas and Salazar go to the storehouse to get some medicine? Then he could have a painful assassination flashback that spurs him to attack Vargas while they're alone.
I see, that could very naturally lead to their climactic fight scene.
In that case, we'd probably want something in the storehouse to trigger his memory to make it more convincing. Heartily agree. It will only be confusing to the audience if he simply had a flashback out of nowhere.
If he lost his memory from a wound in battle, perhaps something that symbolizes war would suffice?
What about the sound of a cannon? I mean, at least I know Izo and I would instinctually react to that. Why would there be a cannon in the storehouse? Why would they even hear a cannon going off in what's basically a big-ass medicine cabinet? Is little Miss holier than thou around or something? I know she wouldn't think twice about firing a cannon in a storehouse. On second thought, never mind, having her show up now would only make things even more confusing. Yeah, she might even steal your heroine spotlight. Exactly, my heroine Shut the hell up. Are you choking me? What about this? One of them could accidentally knock over a bottle while they're looking for the medicine. The bottle happens to contain some dangerous chemicals, so when it hits the ground, it explodes. The explosion sounds just like a cannon shell, which triggers Salazar's flashback. I know it's kind of a stretch, but... yeah, no way that's gonna...
I think it's brilliant, milady with the beautiful bangs. It might be a bit of a stretch, but it's also innovative and sure to be clear to the audience. I would be glad to handle the bottle dropping as well. In fact, I wouldn't mind being the bottle.
Can someone calm him down, please?
Very well, then I will do my best and strum. Ooh, sorry about that, I'm calm now.
It looks like you just came down from a mountain after reaching enlightenment.
Very well, then we shall require the sound of a cannon blast. Find it.
Will do. I'll send you the audio data from the library as soon as I track it down. Would you prefer an Orleans cannon sounds or a North American cannon sound effect? Definitely not an Orleans cannon. That wouldn't do anything good for my mood.
I can play the cannon sound when Salazar knocks the bottle over. We'll need some sound effects for machine guns and missiles. No? Alright, just thought I'd ask.
Well, no time like the present. Let's film the scene as soon as everyone's ready. Again, we can start the scene in Gabriella's room.
What is this feeling? Does this mean I want to be the lead actor?
I get that they want to do this so that everything ties together, but Salazar and Izo are almost nothing alike. This isn't good. I need to be a more proactive detective. Oh, they're all doubting it. They're all like, yeah, this is going to be great. And then they started doing it, and they're like, oh, frick, maybe not.
Ready, and action!
Oh, I almost forgot. The doctor said I should get some medicine to give to Gabriella. Would you mind showing me where the medicine is kept, Salazar?
I would be happy to check the storehouse myself.
No, we should go together just to be safe. No one should go anywhere alone.
I see. All right, if you insist.
Don't misunderstand. This isn't because I suspect you. It's simply better for the both of us to have a witness present.
True, if we go together and anything happens to one of us, the other will come under suspicion. Besides, if Lady Gabriella's condition should worsen because of my medicine, my position here will become extremely precarious.
Oh, I'm almost turning him into a vampire. Stop that.
I apologize for my rudeness. All right, let's be on our way.
Be careful out there, you two. There's no telling what you might run into. No telling what sounds might go off. It's like just leading the plot. And they're like, stop it, stop it.
This place seems bigger than it needs to be.
That's partly because there's also an emergency shelter here. One never knows when one might need it. We're prepared for anything here. We have food and medicine alike in ample supply.
I see. So where's this medicine we need?
I think it was on this shelf. Oops!
Oh, look at him go.
Oh, my head.
Salazar, what's wrong?
I just remembered.
Are we gonna have a fight scene with him?
Oh no! That's it! We're done!
Oh, what a cliffhanger. What a cliffhanger. Alright, so... How do we do? How do we do? Yeah, you know what? Okay. Okay. Another 50-some minute video. I think that's all good. Alright, guys. I will see you next time for some more of the Meihousou Most Foul, where we try and learn what's gonna go on with the plot some more. We'll see you then for that. Ciao.